So I expected to sit here first thing this morning and, of course, be a little annoyed with what happened during the midterms, but I gotta tell you, actually kind of excited about a lot of it. Republicans, of course, had predicted a red wave, and as the media has clearly told you all day, there was no red wave. There really wasn't even a red trickle at this point. It was more like, as the Daily Beast put it, purple rain, because there was a good mix of Democrats and Republicans winning their races, and Republicans did not have the absolute landslide victory that they had been predicting ever since Joe Biden was sworn in. Now, depending on where you live in this country, obviously, some of us did have very bad nights. For example, I live in Florida. Things were terrible for Florida yesterday. Ron DeSantis, the incumbent governor, won by 20 percentage points over Democratic rival Charlie Crist, who I hope to God never runs in another election ever anywhere in this country. I expected DeSantis to win. I did not expect DeSantis to win by 1.5 million votes, which, yes, that is how many votes Ron DeSantis had over Charlie Crist. That is the biggest margin of victory for somebody running for governor in the state of Florida's history. Okay, this isn't just the biggest landslide in the last 10 or 20 years. Ron DeSantis pulled off the biggest victory in Florida's gubernatorial history. This is a red state. This is not a swing state. This is not a leans Republican state. Florida is officially, possibly irrevocably, a red state, and that is something that we have to grapple with, not just us here in the state, but the country for electoral politics, have to grapple with moving forward. That is a very big hurdle for Democrats hoping to win the presidency. So Florida sucks. Georgia, just north of Florida, things a little murky there. We do not yet know who is going to prevail in that Senate race, whether it's going to be Warnock or Walker. The most likely scenario, of course, is that if Warnock, who at the time of me sitting here talking to you, if he hits 50%, we do not have to go to a runoff and he wins. He is currently ahead by just a tiny fraction. But if neither candidate hits that 50% mark, we go to a runoff, and hopefully the state of Georgia makes better decisions in the runoff and Warnock goes back to the Senate. Elsewhere in the country, conservatives had hoped to pick up seats both in the Senate and in the House, and they failed. They failed to pick up governorships that they thought for sure they were going to win. Arizona, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, where, by the way, John Fetterman absolutely routed Dr. Oz. Right? That one's not even close. We don't have to wait days and days and days for the rest of the ballots to be counted like we do with a lot of races. No. Fetterman won. Oz is gone. Go back to New Jersey, bum. J.R. Majewski, the Trump-endorsed House candidate who, of course, lied about his military service. He went down in flames. Lauren frickin' Boebert, again, as of this recording, is losing. That is something that, of course, we had talked about her sagging poll numbers, her opponent, Adam Frisch, polling ahead of her. Still didn't think it was going to happen, but we're right on the cusp of it happening, and I can't hide the smile on my face when talking about that. Kari Lake in Arizona looks like she is headed for a massive defeat. And all of this comes back to one person, Donald Trump. Because even Fox News this morning ran a headline, front page on their website, "Conservatives point finger at Trump after GOP's underwhelming election results. He's never been weaker." In fact, you had some conservatives out there saying on Twitter that Donald Trump's big announcement that he's going to make on November 15th should be that he's endorsing Ron DeSantis for president, because again, DeSantis proved he can do it without Trump. Trump proved that he is not the kingmaker that he always thought he was. Now, there is some bad news again, not just in the state of Florida and other places, but The bad news is that more than 200 election deniers did in fact win their elections last night. That is terrifying. The implications of that are terrifying for the United States of America moving forward. So that, of course, is also something we have to deal with in the future. But in terms of a red wave, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Republicans probably still going to get the House. Again, we'll probably know a couple days, maybe a week or two. But if they do retake the House, at this point, we're looking at them having a fewer than 5-seat advantage. So again, no red wave. People did not soundly reject Democrats or President Biden. Republicans are currently clinging on for dear life, hoping that they might be able to win that House. And as of right now, that's not looking too good for them either.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.